Welcome back, Hordlings, to more Mean Streets. I find Sandra Larson at a local pub. She's an extremely attractive woman in her late 20s. I can see why Linsky started to date her. And you'll understand why I'm about to start dating her. Oh yeah. Let's ask her about Mr. Linsky. Carl and I started dating about 2 months ago. I was heartbroken when I heard about his death. Sure. Dolores was Carl Linsky's girlfriend, but he had grown tired of her. Carl started dating me and said he was going to call their engagement off. Carl was worried about telling her because she had quite a temper. I'd be more worried about her eating me. Alright, that's really all we need from this hot bitch for now. But it is time to return to Dolores's place. And look into that a little bit more. I don't know if my computer can handle these graphics. I can see every individual tree and bush down there on the ground. Look at the detail in that water to the left. It's amazing. You can see the fishes jumping out of the waves. The tide beating against the shore. Why is the sky red? Shouldn't the sky be blue? Is this the fucking apocalypse? Where's the weather effects? How come it's not raining or snowing? At least raining. It's San Francisco, for crying out loud. I don't think it snows there. I hope you brought a Twinkie as protection. I'm Dolores Lightbody. Taba bimba mundungaba. Ikora mambunda sukugaba. Fat bitch. Alright, let's ask her about Sandra Larson. She's got a new voice. She is no good tramp who tried to steal Carl from me. Jaba mungadi bumbaha. Han solo mi gundabada. Alright. So, Dolores thinks that Sandra tried to steal Carl away. Well, that wouldn't be too hard. Plus, we found Carl's message calling off the relationship to Dolores for obvious reasons. Let's ask her about John Claus. Carl and John Claus were partners once. I was dating John at the time, but when I met Carl, I fell head over heels in love with the little cutie. When I told John, he flew into a rage and vowed never to work with Carl again. I see him from time to time, but lately he's been acting very strange. He believes he's in danger. He's hiding out in Reno, Nevada right now. Carl's a pimp, it sounds like. He's stealing all these fat women and then hooking out with little skinny broads, too? Man must be hung like a stallion. Alright, well, we know where he's hiding. Bring me Twinkies. Alright, we leave Jabba's palace. I mean, Dolores' home. Let's head on over to 7012, where Mr. Claus is supposed to be. Oh. We're actually going to leave Cali. I'm getting out of Cali. Cali. I'm getting out of Cali. But then I'm coming back. Alright, so we're heading to Reno, Nevada. Might have to just hit up old Vegas while we're over there. Before the fallout hits. I've actually driven myself from Vegas to Los Angeles. Or excuse me, Hollywood. And it's not that bad of a drive. 4 or 5 hours, something like that. Long time ago. Back in my youth. Oh, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to play a game. Gonna be visiting a winery tomorrow, doing a little wine tasting. Any day now. We're all waiting. Land this sucker. The computer gets it just right on top of it. Notice how high he flies, though. It's just ridiculous. Fly inside the damn building? So he climbs up. Why are you climbing up? Land. There's no reason to be at 11,000 feet when it's 0.03 meters away. You dingleberry. I arrive in Reno at a small office complex. The building is fairly new, being designed in the post-nuclear period. As I walk in, I see a gray-haired man, about 50, sitting at a large table. Professor Claus. The man looks up with a shocked look. How did you find me, he says. It's my business finding people. I give him my credentials and background on the Linsky case. Alright, well, of course, as usual, Carl and I used to work together, but we had a falling out over Miss Lightbody. She was my chick, and he took her away. He'd been trying to get in touch with me, but I wouldn't return his calls. I was sorry to hear about his death. She was your chick? Looks like she ate a whole fucking coop of chicks. The fuck? Alright, we're also going to ask him about the Overlord project. I was told that the Overlord was a project designed to enhance an executive's mental capacity and performance. But as the project progressed, I grew suspicious. When I started asking questions, I was threatened. I figured it was time to go underground for a while. He hands me his green pass card. My password is pawn. Alright, so the green card is pawn. Write that down. Why can't all the scientists cooperate so nicely? Alright, moving on. We're going to head back to... actually, we're going to head over to Gideon's home now. And kick him square in the nuts. And I'll bring the camera back on when we get a little bit closer. As you can see, we're quite the distance. Nice digs. Gideon's home is a 30-room mansion in Beverly Hills. The place is lavishly furnished with a living room big enough for a swimming pool. I'm ushered into the den. Mr. Gideon is intently studying his chessboard. He seems oblivious to me. Either that or he's asleep. The guy's old. I mean ancient. But he must be a big wheel, because there's a picture on the wall of him receiving an award from President Michael J. Fox. President Michael J. Fox? Oh no. You just didn't go there. I give him some background information on the Linsky case, and it seemed to have piqued his curiosity. Let's ask him about MTC. I set up the MTC to help improve the management skills of my executive. Shimmy never liked the idea, which is why I'm surprised it still exists. I've heard there is something unusual going on at MTC. If there is, I'm sure Shimmy is behind it. That man is an asshole. I don't recall the name, but if he wanted to talk to me, that would have been impossible. I've been away the past few weeks. Ah. Interesting. Let's see. Overlord, I'm sure I've never heard that name before. That or you have, and you forgot it, you senile old bastard. It's kind of a mix of King's Quest and Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. It's got that investigative skills with a little bit of point-and-click adventuring. Not even point-and-click, it's the old school parser words and shit where you don't have to type, you just pick them. Few games use that model. This was one of the more successful ones. I'm taking over. Fly too damn high, man. I mean, I love you, autopilot, but damn, you fly high. I got this. The address for Sonny Fletcher is a rundown hotel that has been converted to apartments. I step into the small, seedy lobby and find the stairs. The stairwell is dark with garbage and old newspapers strewn everywhere. I find apartment 307 and knock on the door. Fletcher answers with the disposition of an untipped waiter. I tell him I'm working for Sylvia Linsky, and he tells me to come inside. The room is cramped and confining. The furniture is cheap, and upholstery is threadbare. A portable black and white TV is on a small table, blaring the sound of lifestyles of the incredibly rich, lucky, healthy, and famous. Holy shit! Is that a mask? No way. I've got nothing to say. Well, we're gonna have to bribe him. Thanks, buddy. I'll tell you what I know. Linsky hired me to check out a corporation called MTC. He'd been hired to do research into increasing a person's mental abilities. As the work had progressed, however, he realized they had different intentions. When I started my investigation into MTC, I received threats on my life and was even shot at a few times. I tried to warn the professor, but it was too late. I think they iced him, but I have no idea how they did it. If you want more information on MTZ, check with Wanda Peck. No way, they'd find out how you got your information and I'd wind up floating in the bay. I've got nothing to say. I need more money. You'll find her at the San Francisco Chronicle, 4621. All right, that's what we needed to know. All right, let's head over to Wanda Peck's, the investigative reporter. Apparently she knows a lot of what's going on in San Francisco. Maybe she's got some more information for us. Inside the San Francisco Chronicle building, I look for Wanda Peck. I've always thought Wanda was a good-looking in a way, far away. But I like Wanda. She's a good source of information. And she knows how this city is run. Holy shit, is that a human?
MTC really stands for Management Through Control. The Management Training Center is just a front for the project called Overlord. Overlord? Yeah. Larry Hammond wanted me to do some research on that. The Overlord project was developed 50 years ago in England. Scientists began work on a mental ability booster. The experiment involved increasing a person's mental capacity by connecting his brain directly to a computer. Several scientists tried the experiment on themselves, and at first it worked. By stimulating untapped areas of the mind, they increased their IQs by 15 to 25%. But they also found they were extremely susceptible to suggestion. Commands given through the computer would be followed without question. The experimentation became more and more radical. Many of the scientists developed severe cases of psychosis. Some committed suicide and others died under mysterious circumstance.
Let's ask her about Larry Hammond.
He's a brilliant computer specialist who's done some work for the MTC Corp. He was concerned about some MTC project. Ask a guy named Ron Meat where to find him.
Ron Meat?
The guy's a real paranoid. He never stays in one place for very long. You'll have to check with your sources to find him. Information on these boys is going to cost you. I'm taking a big risk saying anything bad about them. There's a pretty bunch of fascists. They started out as a small band of troublemakers about 5 years ago, but they've cultivated a steady following since. A year ago, Robert Knott became the president, and now the party is focusing on their rage against the mutants. When a murder or robbery is committed, It's immediately blamed on the mutants. The scariest part is that they're becoming a powerful political force. They've got friends in the legislature, mayor's office, and police force. You need to talk to Larry Hammond. Look for Ron Meat to find Larry. Spending all my money on bribes, man. He's the head of the Law and Order party. He's quite the mystery man. He controls much of the action of the city, but he's hard to find. I don't think he's looking for publicity or notoriety. He wants to control things without actually appearing to do so. Alright, good enough. Let's track down Ron Meat. We're going to need to call our secret source Lee Chin. The Asian with the rack. Hiya, how you doing? Me love you long time.
What do you need, Murphy?
I need a happy ending. Oh, yes, what do I need? I need some information on Ron Meat.
What's it worth? Look for my facts. Sorry, can't help you.
That's all we need for now. Let's wait for our facts so we can get some new coordinates. Apparently it is the apocalypse. Mutants and shit. Any day now. Come on, Lee. Put down the egg roll. Send me facts now. Thank you. Put down the cream of some young guy. All this Chinese food talk's making me want some crab rangoon. With some sweet Thai chili. Here she comes. 45-25. He's a little unpredictable, so watch yourself. That's alright, I'm a little unpredictable too. Ooh, that's close. Alright, Ron Meat. Why couldn't my last name be Meat? It's an interesting last name. Hey, nice to meet you, ladies. My name's Ron Meat. Why do they call you that? Well, because of my meat. Would you like to meet my meat? At the base of Coit Tower, I wait for Ron Meat. I finally see him. He has radiation burns all over most of his face, but he has a nice eye. Too bad he doesn't have another one to match. I call him over to the side of my speeder. Holy shit, it's a Cyclops!
Stick it, fish face!
How about I stick this? It's time to get tough. I get a steely-eyed look and say that I'll air out that oversized skull if I don't get the facts now. Bam! I slam my fist into his soft, flabby stomach and he buckles over. Then I catch his chin with a solid haymaker that sends him staggering back against the wall.
Okay, that's enough. You'll find him in Freaktown at the old warehouse. 4935.
I decide to beat the shit out of Cyclops one more time just for the fuck of it. Smoking's bad for your health. Alright, 4935 you said. It's close too. Alright, autopilot. I'm really curious why they had you fly so high, seeing that like the hills are maybe 1,000 feet off the ground at most. And here Dingleberry's going up to 12,000 feet.
Where are we now?
The address I have for the mutant computer specialist, Larry Hammond, is a decaying old warehouse building in the heart of Freaktown. This is where most of the unfortunate individuals live who suffer from severe damage of nuclear radiation. Many of their offspring suffer genetic damage resulting in some rather grotesque mutations. Most were treated as outcasts and were forced into this community, away from those not affected. I stepped through a partially open doorway into a large room. I see several large mutants, and none of them look too happy to see me. I'm looking for Larry Hammond, I say, quickly. A fellow steps forward. He's about 30. He looks like he's got a serious grudge against the world. Some people are so ungrateful for extra blessings. At least he was born with all his vital organs inside his body.
My name is Larry, and this is my brother Daryl. Feel free to speak in front of him. What can I do for you?
That reminds me of Good Ash and Bad Ash from Army of Darkness. Yeah, I'm Good Ash. I'm Goody Little Two Shoes. Almost even looks like Bruce Campbell. We'll ask him about the Overlord project.
Overlord is the continuation of a project that was an attempt in England 50 years ago. It failed. Now, with new technology, they are attempting to control the actions of an individual through microchips and satellite transmissions.
What about MTC?
About a year ago, Tom Griffith, the vice president of MTC Corporation, hired me to design a computer for the Overlord project. They also wanted 8 access terminals. A colleague of mine, Cal Davis, told me that he had been hired by the MTC Corporation to do research on controlling human behavior through direct brain stimulation. When I started asking questions, they told me it was none of my goddamn business. When I read that Davis had been killed, I decided to go into hiding. If you're looking for a way to stop Project Overlord, you'll have to get to the main computer and destroy the satellite. To gain access to the destruct sequence, you'll need all 8 passcards and passwords. Each scientist involved with the project has one. My gray pass card was stolen by members of the Law and Order Party. My password is King. To get to the rest of the passwords and cards, you'll need to find each of the scientists working on the project. Once you gather all the cards, you'll need to find the main computer to use them. I don't know where the main computer is, and other than Cal Davis, I don't know any of the names of the remaining 6 scientists who worked on the project. If I were you, I'd start with the accounting people at Gideon. Jerome Milborn, Ed Bradley, Arnold Dweeb. They might have names of people that received checks from MTC. Well, at least we got the password King from him. Let's ask him about Robert Knott. I know he hates freaks and heads the Law and Order Party, but that's about it. When I did work for Gideon, I saw him and Frank Schmimming together.
What about Tom Griffith?
He's vice president of MTZ. I think he's more responsible for what's going on than Frank Shimming.
Tell me about Cal Davis.
He was a colleague of mine. I don't believe his death was an accident.
What about Ed Bradley?
He looks like a typical accountant. You can find him at NC 7312.
All right, fair enough. All right, we need to track down Tom Griffith. Let's call up our view phone, Vanessa. Let's see if we can get some information.
Hello, Tex.
We also need to get information on Jerome Milbourne.
Can't help you there.
Milbourne.
Look for my fax.
Helps to spell it right.
Can't help you there.
Can't help with Tom Griffith, huh? We'll have to settle for Jerome Milbourne first. While I'm waiting for the faxes, we'll see you next video. Thanks for watching.